Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at my gym bag and take a look at what I carry to the gym on a daily basis as a high-level power lifter. So we're going to walk through each and everything. I'll explain why I have it in there. So let's get after it. So first, we'll start with the bag itself. Pretty generic, right? I like to use just a simple backpack. Any brand will do. I've gone through them because over time, of course, wear and tear happens. But this is the one I'm currently using. Has lots of pockets on the side for drinks, which is nice. So, um, yeah, backpack's pretty general. Now we'll actually move into the things that I carry, starting with my shoes. Right, so I'll go to the gym in tennis shoes, and then usually change depending on what lift I'm going to do. The first shoe I have here, and I only have one of them out, but this is the Nike Romaleo 3s. They're actually a weightlifting shoe, and what I can say about this shoe is it's very sturdy, right? So it's got a built-in raised heel, and they're flanged out. So basically, whenever you step down, you have no side-to-side motion in your foot, and as you can tell, it's very hard and a stiff shoe, which is nice with the Velcro to lock it down. Um, I prefer to squat and bench in these shoes. So probably the best ones I've seen on the market, or at least used. And I've had these for probably 4 years at this point. And they're still looking pretty good. So moving on to my next shoe, I've got just a pair of Nike wrestling shoes. I deadlift in these. They give the nice flat sole. I know you could certainly squat in these, bench in these if you wanted. Like I said, I prefer that heel. But these are my deadlifting shoe of choice. And you can get either of these on Amazon. I've got some links provided down below if you wanted to check that out. Or even Dick's Sporting Goods or somewhere of the sort. All right, so kind of just moving up, in my bag, I keep two different types of knee sleeves, right? So two pairs, and honestly, I'll only take the pair that I plan to use throughout the day, usually. These are SBD, which I should say up front, I work with SBD, I'm sponsored by them. With that said, they have the best customer service team I've ever worked with, and there's a reason I work with them, right? So I really do recommend their stuff. Now, the first pair of sleeves I have here is the 7 millimeter thickness, and this is the thickest type of sleeve, and it provides more support for, say, squatting. With that said, since there's more support, they're a little bit harder to get on, and if I'm doing maybe a lighter workout with squats or with my lower body, I'll use the 5 millimeter sleeves instead of the 7s, and these are sized up from what I wear on the 7 millimeter for my squat, right? So it's nice to have both of these. I really do like the 5 millimeter. I think they're underrated just for like general lifting and especially during the off season. So go ahead and check those out if you're interested. Moving up my body still, right? Move on to the belt. So once again, this is going to be SBD. It's a 13 millimeter belt with the standard IPF thickness, and it is a fully adjustable lever belt. So as you can tell, you can just latch it into the holes and adjust as needed. This belt itself I got in 2016, right as they came out, and that was before I worked with SBD, so I did in fact pay for this belt, and you know, I can give my nod of approval. It's been worth every cent, right? And I have since replaced the buckle, but they were very quick to help me out with that and get me a new buckle on there. It lasted until this year, actually. So always keep my belt with me for the heavy sets. Next up, we've got elbow sleeves, right? These are kind of optional. They're not something that uh, are legal for use actually in competitions, but these are nice to help with tendonitis or anything else. So I keep these in my bag as well. And then finally, as far as like equipment goes, I keep a pair of wrist wraps, if not a couple pairs, just in case as a backup. But the ones that I prefer are the large, flexible SBD wrist wraps. I know some people like the stiff. I personally like to have a little flex in my wrist and not as much support. So that's why I go with the flexible ones. And the other nice thing is the Velcro is on this part of the wrist wrap rather than the actual tongue. So it doesn't get as frayed. As you can see. These look fairly new still. So keep those moving right along. We're basically finished with the equipment. The last thing I'll mention, I do keep straps for deadlifting in my bag. And it's actually kind of funny because in general, I'm not super for straps. I like to do a lot of things actually holding on with my hands. But deadlifting 3 times a week at times seems to tear up my calluses and my hands. So I will use these for things like RDLs or deficit deadlift, something where I'm having to hold on for a long period of time just to save my hands. Right? So just general lifting straps there. Next up, we're just kind of getting into the smaller things. I like a gym towel so that I can wipe things off, or if it's really warm in the gym, this is a nice addition. Um, just pretty generic there. Also keeps icy hot, right, for warming up, keeping things going. Now I have a couple kind of more unique things. So this is honey, and I learned this from my friend Keith from college, Keith Olslager. So giving full credit to him on this. But honey is nice to take a shot, especially if you're having workouts over an hour long. Getting some quick sugars in is useful. In place of this, you could use Sour Patch Kids, you could use Gatorade, whatever you'd like. This is just my preferred way to carry it as honey. And to kind of go with that, I also keep bulk supplements, caffeine capsules in my bag. These are 200 milligrams a piece. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll split up my pre-workout. I'll take one of these, and then intra-workout I'll take one as well. So I have 400 milligrams, but it's more spread out across the workout. Um, these are nice. They can be found at bulksupplements.com. I do have a link down below because I do work with them. Um, but check them out. They have a lot of good products. Much more than caffeine, creatine, all that good stuff. And then I've got my shaker bottle, generic, right? Anything that'll put liquids in will do for this. And then finally, I have my chalk container. And that's basically just a Tupperware container. I've got some napkins in there to kind of break up that loose powder. And I have my chalk. So this is how I keep my chalk. And overall, that does it, right? So that's what I keep in my bag in the gym. At powerlifting meets, I do keep more in my bag and I pack a lot more food and things like that. So that'll be for a later episode. But hopefully you all took some value from this. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.